Trump suggests the U.S. should reclaim the Panama Canal if Panama does not adjust its ridiculous fees for passage through the canal. Trump has threatened to reclaim the strategically important artificial waterway, arguing that the U.S. previously spent vast resources to build it. The fees Panama is charging are absurd, especially when you consider the extraordinary generosity the U.S. has shown to Panama. President-elect Donald Trump wrote on social media platform Truth Social on December 21. "This blatant theft from our country will immediately come to an end." Trump emphasized, Panama charges fees for vessels passing through the Panama Canal, which connects the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. These fees vary depending on the size and purpose of the vessel, ranging from as low as 50 cents to as high as $300. If the principles, both moral and legal, of this generous gesture are not upheld, we will demand that the entire Panama Canal be returned to the U.S., and no questions asked. Trump declared, the U.S. uses the Panama Canal more than any other country and was also the primary contributor to its construction, as well as managing the surrounding territory for decades. The construction of the Panama Canal began in 1904 under President Teddy Roosevelt. At the time, it was considered one of the most significant achievements of U.S. foreign policy. Control of the canal was transferred from the U.S. to Panama in 1999, following a 1979 agreement under President Jimmy Carter, a decision that Trump considers a mistake, when President Jimmy Carter foolishly gave it away for $1 during his term. It was supposed to be managed by Panama, not China or any other country, Trump criticized, also stating that Panama has no right to charge unreasonable fees for U.S. military vessels and American companies. The U.S. president-elect further asserted that Washington has a vested interest in the safe, efficient, and reliable operation of the Panama Canal and would never allow it to fall into the wrong hands. It was not given as a gift for the benefit of others, but simply as a symbol of our cooperation with Panama, Trump added, claiming that the U.S. is being treated unfairly and inconsiderately by Panama. Trump's statement regarding the Panama Canal is an extremely rare example of an American leader suggesting that a sovereign nation should return territory. Previously, Trump also shocked many by stating that Canada could become the 51st U.S. state to avoid additional tariffs. Reuters commented that these remarks could signal potential changes in U.S. foreign policy under Trump, who does not hesitate to warn and threaten both U.S. allies and partners. The Panama Embassy in the U.S. did not immediately respond to a request for comment.
Trump has declared his victory as a mission, but Washington's reality is challenging that. Donald Trump has not yet arrived in Washington, but he is already facing constraints in his electoral mission. Trump's last-ditch effort to derail a carefully negotiated bill to keep government funding through March failed to achieve the result he desired, addressing the looming debt ceiling battle during his next presidential term. However, it exposed a persistent rift among Republicans in the House that had been hidden behind the post-election excitement of the GOP and clearly showed that Trump's influence over his own party is still far from absolute. In a shocking turn, 38 Republicans challenged the elected president on Thursday. By early Saturday, 48 hours after Trump threatened to challenge any Republican who supported funding the government without removing the debt ceiling, 170 House Republicans and dozens of GOP senators voted for the bill. The chaotic event, occurring a month before Trump returns to the White House, serves as a reminder that governing has often been the downfall of many successful politicians. And it foreshadows the challenges Trump will face as he navigates a House with a slim majority and a Senate full of members who expect to stay in office longer than the 4 years of a new president in Washington. Trump insists that his decisive victory in November will remove all obstacles to his agenda. He has demanded loyalty from other Republicans while often overstating the scope of his win, though he became the first Republican in a generation to win the popular vote. Trump finished with less than 50% of the national vote, and his electoral college margin was sizable but not historic. "The great thing is we won by such a large margin," Trump said in a recent interview with Time magazine. "This mission is huge." However, over the past month, Trump has faced a number of notable setbacks from his own party before taking office. This week, the president-elect appeared to abandon his effort to secure a U.S. Senate seat for his daughter-in-law, Lara Trump, after quiet but firm opposition from Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. In the weeks after Trump selected Florida Senator Marco Rubio as his Secretary of State, DeSantis faced intense public pressure to appoint her as his replacement, with Elon Musk and his mother, along with other MAGA Republicans, openly lobbying for her. Many sources familiar with their recent interactions say that the president-elect expressed his preference for DeSantis through private channels. DeSantis subtly relayed to Trump that he had no ill feelings toward Lara Trump but felt that appointing her to such a senior position was problematic, and he was looking for someone else to fill the vacancy. On Monday, the president-elect told reporters that he did not expect DeSantis to appoint Lara to the position and distanced himself from the campaign by pushing for his daughter-in-law to participate. "Ron is doing a great job," Donald Trump said. "It's his choice, and it has nothing to do with me." Then on Saturday, Lara Trump publicly withdrew her name from consideration for the potential Senate vacancy, saying, "After much thought, consideration, and encouragement from many people, I have decided to withdraw my name from consideration for the U.S. Senate seat." Trump's allies have demanded absolute loyalty from Republican lawmakers and have openly threatened those who plan to challenge the new president on any front. For every U.S. senator, you must confirm Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Kash Patel, Bobby Kennedy, Pam Bondi, and the entire Trump cabinet, or you will face an immediate challenger, Kirk warned at a Turning Point USA event in Arizona on Friday. By Friday evening, Trump's allies, particularly his co-conspirator, Musk, had turned the government's funding vote failure into a victory. Musk, who had posted dozens of times about the vote on his social media site in recent days, shared a photo of the 1.500-page bill they helped to destroy alongside a smaller stack that represented the final bill passed. "Your actions turned a pound-weighted bill into an ounce-weighted one," Musk triumphantly wrote. However, it is clear that frustration is growing among Republicans that Trump has spent too much of his political capital. Just before the House voted on Friday evening, Trump complained to a GOP lawmaker during a call that the spending deal couldn't include raising the debt ceiling, an issue he knows will now be a problem during his presidency. The debt ceiling will be reinstated in January, but lawmakers may have until mid-2025 to address it. Senator Mike Rounds of South Dakota told reporters that he was not surprised the debt ceiling, a legal limit on the amount of money the federal government can borrow and must have a congressional act to lift, was not mentioned in the short-term funding package. However, Trump's allies are signaling that this is just the beginning.